what do you do when it's in Houston and you have your pilot's license? You go for breakfast in Austin.
Post ground, Arrow, November 6347 Charlie's at United. I'd like to pick up our IFR.
Arrow 647 Charlie, strong cleared to Echo Delta Charlie Airport via the Industry 9 departure. Industry, direct Charlie Whiskey Kilo direct, maintain 2000, expect 6000, 10 minutes after. Departure frequency 123.8, squawk 4522.
Alright, November 6347 Charlie is cleared to the Echo Delta Charlie Airport. Industry 9 departure, Industry Charlie Whiskey Kilo, altitude 2000, expect 6000, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 123.8 and squawking 4522, 47 Charlie.
November 47 Charlie, reback's correct. Wind 260 at 4, altimeter 2999.
Roger that, and we are ready to taxi for a run-up, 47 Charlie.
November 47 Charlie, run up on the Charlie ramp via Juliet Echo Papa.
Charlie ramp, Juliet Echo Papa for 47 Charlie. Alright, the Charlie ramp, what we will do with that is look it up. Alright, so while we're taxiing, I'm checking all of our instruments, making sure that we're looking good. Our compass matches our gyro. That is our field elevation, so we're looking good there. Vertical speed is at 0, which is what we want. And then our attitude indicator is erect and level. Also what we're looking for. So our ground controller there told us to both to use caution because we're in what's called the non-movement area. So he doesn't actually control us right now. You can taxi up here and drive up and down all you want without talking to them.
Okay.
But once we cross these lines here, then we're into what he controls.
Okay.
But they're good people, so they're like, hey, use caution, meaning like there's another plane there, man. Heads up. All right, so we're going to taxi to the Charlie ramp Juliet, which is right here. Echo, which is our first right. And then Papa. Alright, so we'll bring our mixture full rich, bring our prop up, bring our RPMs up to 2000, right there. Well, we're going to check our magnetos. So there's just half of our magnetos, back to both, bring the RPM back up. I'm looking for small drops, like 150 RPMs. Check our left mag. Good drop back to both. Plane still running. Our suction's good. 5 to 6 is what you're looking for here, so 5's good. Our GPS, we're going to configure that in a second. All of our engine instruments are good. Oil pressure, oil temperature, our alternator. We got a load on. We got our strobes on. So I see my alternator's working. Temperature and fuel pressures are all good. So I will now cycle our propeller. So I told you that we can control the pitch of the prop. So that's what we're doing here. Just making sure that I can do this. I see the RPM drops. No oil comes blowing out on the cowling. So we're in good shape. Make sure the engine will idle. That, you always want to make sure that you can idle, right? But that's more of a thing with carbureted engines, I find. These fuel injection guys, they idle really well. Alright. So let's start setting up for our departure here. Procedures. Departure. Industry 9. Alright, so flight plan. David Wayne Hooks. Enter. Aero November 6347 Charlie's in the Charlie ramp. Run up is complete.
November 47 Charlie, 17 right at Charlie, taxi via Charlie.
17 right at Charlie, taxi via Charlie, 47 Charlie.
November 47 Charlie, number 1, contact tower, 118.4.
Over to tower number 1, 47 Charlie. Compass, gyro, they match. All of our instruments are good. The GPS is set up to the industry VOR, and then we'll finish programming it the rest of the way after we get going. I started only programming like the first few legs because oftentimes I'll change them. So then it's like, well, you know, why did I do all that for?
Yep.
And we have lots of time once we're up in the air. All right, over to tower number 1. And then we'll get our departure frequency set up 1238. So he's in standby, and we'll let tower know that we are eager. Hooks Tower, good morning. Arrow, November 6347 Charlie, holding short of 17 right at Charlie, ready for departure.
6347 Charlie Hooks Tower, stand by, waiting by for release.
Holding short, 47 Charlie.
I'm 47 Charlie in the park, stand right heading 230, maintain 2000, runway 17 right at Charlie, clear for takeoff.
On departure 230, heading maintain 2000, clear for takeoff 17 right at Charlie, 47 Charlie. Alright, fuel pump comes on, landing light comes on, strobes come on, mixture goes to full rich, prop is full forward, let's close that door. So bring that in as tight as you can, and then we're going to get that top latch first. Feel like you got it? There it goes, and then push this guy down forward. So initial heading to tree 0. We're entering the runway, we're clear to the right. We're cleared onto the runway, but I always like to check in case anything is going on. Alright, we'll grab our center line here. Alright, make sure one last check of our engine instruments, everything looking good. Let's go. Once we get up in the air, it gets cooler, but right now it's hot. Airspeed's alive, there's 60 knots. Alright, positive rate, no usable runway, gear coming up. Gears in transition. I got my light here. Tells me the gear is unsafe. There we go, gear's up and locked. We're climbing, there's 300 feet. Climbing out 80 knots. Once we get to 500, we'll start our turn to 230.
I'm 107 Alpha Foxtrot, runway 17 right, clear to land.
17 right, clear to land. 07, nice coordinated turn, looking at my turn coordinator here, and there's 230. We'll keep our climb coming on this heading. No autopilot.
47 Charlie, contact Houston departure 123.8.
Over departure, thanks for your help, 47 Charlie. Alright, and then we'll call Houston. Departure, Aero, November 6347 Charlie, out of Hooks, 900 for 2000.
November 6347 Charlie, Houston departure, radar contact, climb maintain 3000.
Climb maintain 3000, 47 Charlie. Alright, up to 3. So we got our flight plan, everything's loaded in here, but we're on a heading of 230. So we're not using that just quite yet. Alright, we can bring our fuel pump comes off, landing light comes off.
November 6347 Charlie, are you landing Austin Bergstrom?
Austin Executive for 47 Charlie.
Air 47 Charlie, clear direct Austin Executive Airport.
Direct Austin Executive 47 Charlie, thank you. There you go. Alright, direct to K Echo. Austin Executive, enter, enter.
Air 47 Charlie, just be advised here on mode C, the altitude keeps fluctuating. I'll get it a couple sweeps and then it'll disappear for a couple sweeps.
Roger that, 47 Charlie, we just had that looked at. We'll get it back to the shop.
Roger, and just to verify, I'm showing you it's 2,100.
2001 for 3000, 47 Charlie. Alright, so now I got my desired track of 280. And we're tracking 283, so bring that back a little bit, keep the climb coming. You almost got to go through a cloud, man. Put us right between them. It's pretty up here, though.
Yeah, it is.
Alright, we'll start our level off. 100 to go. Alright, now we'll start setting up, and we'll throttle back down to 24 inches of pressure. So we'll bring our prop down to 2400 RPM. So now we're 2424. We gotta retrim here a bit. And just like that, man, we're on the road, 3,000 feet. So if we weren't instrument rated, then we'd be trying to stay underneath all these clouds. And that's usually okay, but sometimes it gets you lower and lower and lower, and then...
Oh, sure.
And on for flight, I'll just go, I click the airport, and I just hit go direct. And it clears out all of that routing that we had put in there. and it just sends us right to the airport.
Okay.
November 47 Charlie, climb maintain 5,000. 1401.
3,000, 5,000, 47 Charlie, thanks. We'll put a prop forward. And then we'll throttle up for the climb. And that'll give us above all of these clouds here. Man, that's pretty.
Yeah, it is.
Snap a picture of that, would you? Alright, 4,000 for 5,000. 5,000 is a weird number to give me because usually if you're going west, you're on an even 1,000. And if you're going east, you're on an odd 1,000. So we're going west and he's got me on a 5,000. And then we'll do the same thing, we'll bring our prop down to 24 and 24. And then we're just above the cloud layer and we'll just cruise. Works for me.
47 Charlie, climb maintain 6,000.
6,000, 47 Charlie.
47 Charlie, and say altitude leaving.
5,000 for 6,000, 47 Charlie. Yeah, so there must have been somebody passing by us and they wanted us to stay at 5 for a bit.
47 Charlie, just verify you are level at 6,000 and the altimeter 2999.
999 and 47 Charlie's level at 6,000.
47 Charlie, contact departure on 134.3.
34.3, 47 Charlie. Alright, then we'll go check on with these guys. Houston, Aero, November 6347 Charlie, checking on 6,000.
Aero 6347 Charlie, East Third South Station, altimeter 3000.
00047 Charlie. Alright, we're going to change our fuel tank here, so I'm going to spring our fuel pump on. Looking at my fuel pressure. I'm going to switch it over to the right tank. And then I'm going to turn my fuel pump back off and check that pressure. And looks good. Man, there's nobody out here. The cloud tops are pretty.
Really quiet, yeah. Pretty standard for altitude.
Yeah, anything over 5,000, usually you're above them. 3,000, you're usually maybe below them on a good flying day. But you have a lot of like experimentals and people practicing down there.
Sure.
So if you're actually just going to go to fly somewhere, get up above all of that so you're not having to worry about it.
Yeah.
So we can get the weather in Austin. So right now,
1615 Alpha, climb maintain 3,000.
the winds are 220 at 8. Visibility is 8 miles. And scattered clouds at 1,700 feet. So we're going to have to keep IFR to come down through those clouds. Or try to dive below them before, but we'll just stay with them. 220.
Aircraft has its weather information, affected Texas, Louisiana, the Gulf Coast, coastal water areas. More information available on high loss of flight source frequencies.
So it's pretty much a crosswind in Austin. We have runways 13, which is the magnetic heading of the runway.
Yep.
And the winds are 220, so it's pretty much a crosswind. It will be sporty, my friend. It will be sporty. I gotta get my desired track and my track closer together. We're leaking over to the right. We'll bring him on, and 6,000. I gotta get back down. She likes to climb. You gotta be like deliberate.
6347 Charlie, verify level at 6,000.
47 Charlie, 6,100 down to 6,000.
47 Charlie, ready.
Oops. Got in trouble. You actually start to see some of the hills. I mean, it's not like the north, but coming this way, you do start to see that the earth isn't so flat. We're 20 minutes away.
Wow, that was fast.
Yeah, not bad. And that's with a headwind too. We're only doing 130 on the ground. 130 knots.
Aero 47 Charlie, contact Austin approach 127.22. How's it going?
2722, 47 Charlie, thanks for your help. 12722. Alright.
7 Whiskey Echo, Austin approach, stand by 1 second, I'll get right back to you. 7 Tango X-ray, ready to contact 3 miles west of Lexington, Austin altimeter 29908. I'll show you at about 3,600.
That's us, 29908. We'll call you soon.
7 Whiskey Echo, say request.
Flight following.
Alright, what's your type aircraft, destination, cruising altitude?
2,500 feet, Cirrus 777 Whiskey Echo, SR-22, going to...
He's not going to make
going
it.
to KRAF.
Romeo Alpha Sierra.
Alright, Cirrus 7 Whiskey Echo, got you going to RAF. Are you going to stay at 2,500 or you plan on climbing?
We're going to stay down here.
I'll wait till he's done giving him his flight following instructions and then we'll check on.
And 7 Whiskey Echo, you said Romeo Alpha Foxtrot your destination?
Romeo Alpha Sierra.
While they're doing that,
Feedback, hold instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information whiskey. Austin Executive Information Whiskey, time 1455 Zulu. Wind 190 at 8, gust 15, visibility 8. The sky condition is 1,700 scattered. Temperature 28, dew point 22. Altimeter 2999.
Country 651, departure radar contact, turn left direct Alexi, climb and maintain 12,000.
Left direct Alexi 12000, Sun Country 561.
2 Mike Alpha radar service terminate, for exchange approved.
Right, see you in a few. 652 Mike Alpha.
Austin approach Aero, November 6347, Charlie checking on 6000.
6347 Charlie, Austin approach, Austin altimeter 2999, information whiskey's current executive advising of the weather.
47 Charlie has whiskey.
For flight 1, you can descend and maintain 4,000.
Descend and maintain 4,000 for flight 1.
Who doesn't fly without whiskey?
Austin Roger, 733 Charlie Papa with request.
3 Charlie Papa, you can proceed on course and resume on altitude.
Proceed on course and confirm altitude our discretion, 3 Charlie Papa.
3 Charlie Papa, affirmative altitude, your discretion.
Altitude our discretion, 3 Charlie Papa, thanks.
7 Whiskey X-ray, squawk 0203.
Yeah, so we're on with approach control. This all happens really quick once you get going, so the earlier you can set up, the better. So making sure that we're still on course and that we're on our altitude, I'm going to start setting up.
7 Tango X-ray,
approach instructions that are climb to 2,100 feet and go direct to Surmu.
Aircraft you're jumping
GPS will have for us. We're on with approach control. We already got the weather. Tower is 120.3. We'll get him set up here. 120.
So my Juliet contact, San Antonio approach 127.3.
And then it's just a switch. A switch over. One thing that caught me one time and it won't get me again. And I figured we were maybe Waco or Dallas. And we landed and they said, "Where do you park?" And I'm like, "Oh,
fly 1, roger."
I didn't know the name of the FBO that we're going to.
Cleared visual to 1.
Then a super embarrassed. Like I called him on the phone. We had reservations. Everything was set. But then you don't remember the name of it. And then you land, and the dude's like, "Where do I send you?" Because they want to get you off the runway.
Yep.
Yeah, it was super embarrassing. That will only happen one time. So now we're landing at the Jet Center.
For flight 1, clear visual approach 13. You can contact Austin Executive Tower on 120.3. Good day.
120.3. Good day for flight 1.
6347 Charlie, descend and maintain 4,000. Advise when you're level at 4,000.
6,000 for 4,000, 47 Charlie.
Got 2 Mike Alpha, fly heading 020, vector for 17 left.
020, Scott, 652 Mike Alpha.
Hey, approach, quick question.
Go ahead.
Hey, who's Lucky?
What?
Oh, that's the guy who owns that land. He carved his name out in the trees like years and years ago.
Copy.
What just happened?
I'll approach you at time for a little information on that.
Sure, go ahead.
Tell him he was a highway patrolman there for a long time until they discovered a lot of gas and oil on his land, and now he's a rich ex-highway patrolman.
Right, thank you.
If you bring that closer, I can't hear you. Can you hear you when you talk?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. That's the first thing I ever heard you say. So we're going down to 4,000. There's 5,500 for 4,000. Ground speed is 144 knots.
Do they pretty much walk you right in?
Yeah, so I heard him give the last guy the visual approach, which is fine. It saves some time, but I hate playing Find the Runway or Find the Airport, and these approaches bring you right. Like you just follow this. They won't go step by step, but they're going to tell me, "Hey, you're clear for the approach," and then I'll follow this plate over here.
Okay.
And if I follow that plate, I go right. It brings me right to the runway.
To your runway.
But I heard him clear for the visual. I mean, it's fine. It's just You look out and it all just looks the same out here.
Yeah. You said this was to locate other planes?
Yeah, that's what shows all these other little dots on here.
Delta 2958, contact approach 125.32.
Yep, so if they're blue, then you're fine. So he's 4,300 below.
32.
He's 30,000 above.
Denver 5326, also approach you check on?
That's a passenger jet.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I actually don't recall, but we're here at 12 for descending on the Willie 5 for Denver 5326. We have uniform.
Destination
Denver
AWAS is
5326,
118.
plan runway 17 left.
And that is also what gives me the weather. I can click on him. He's Air Shuttle, Mesa Airlines. That's United.
Okay.
So we're still descending 500 feet per minute. Anything steeper than that, your ears start popping. So Hooks is 100 feet above sea level.
Okay.
Here it's 620.
Oh,
so
wow.
You can see like the elevation.
347 Charlie, last aircraft into Executive was able to get the visual approach. You want to try for the visual? You just want to go plan the RNAV?
It looks like we could take the visual for 47 Charlie. We're 4,200 for 4,000 right now.
347 Charlie, roger. Descend and maintain 2,500.
2,500 for 47 Charlie. Is my mode C still intermittent? Is that for the altitude reports?
47 Charlie, it's been intermittent. Right now I've got you at 4,200, but just a minute ago it wasn't showing anything.
Roger that. We'll get it back in the shop for 47 Charlie. Yeah, so here we see that there's traffic at the airport. So he's climbing out, so he's fine. He's on the ground, so they're landing. 401 Lima is landing right now. But we're at 3,500, and they're 3,100 feet below us. So he's just touching down.
Austin approach United 2231 out of
We're 4 minutes away.
Center view to Suzy 4 landing south with uniform.
2231 Austin approach plan runway 17 right.
17 right, United 2231.
So the question about do you want
Maple 7747 flying 220.
The question about do you want the visual approach is it saves you a little bit of time, and then you just do it visually, because otherwise I have to follow all these waypoints and step down my altitudes, and it keeps you safe. Because when you're in a cloud, as you saw, you can't see anything, and you feel a little disoriented.
About a minute.
So as long as we pass through this cloud lair, and there's nothing below it, then we'll be fine for the visual.
Direct Alexi there, 5330.
Yeah, I'd say we got the visual. Alright, we'll get our fuel tank change out of the way. I like to do that as high as I can, just in case.
Denver 5330, contact Houston Center 132.15, good day.
Bring our fuel pump off, check our fuel pressure. Very good. Alright, 28 for 25. Just keep talking to myself so I don't forget my flow and my altitudes.
Whatever you gotta do to keep us safe up here, man.
Hey, man. I'm in here with you.
Man, just a whole lot of nothing out here.
Right? Alright, we'll tell them that we're level at 25 because of the airports. We're right there.
6347 Charlie, airport's 12 o'clock, 5 miles.
We're level 2,500, airport in sight, 47 Charlie.
47 Charlie, cleared visual approach, 13 Austin Executive, contact Austin Executive Tower, 120.3.
Clear for the visual, 13 over to tower, 47 Charlie, thanks for your help. Executive Tower, Aero, November 6347 Charlie, on a visual for 13.
Aero 6347 Charlie, Executive Tower, say your position.
We're entering a left downwind for 47 Charlie.
Aero 47 Charlie, I don't have you in sight yet. Report midfield left downwind.
Wilco 47 Charlie. Paralleling the runway. See it right there?
Oh, yep.
See, it's like, alright, so let's
It's hard to
bring our fuel pump on, bring our mixture full rich, prop comes up, throttle down. Alright, we gotta slow down, get a little closer.
Aero 47 Charlie in sight, runway 13, wind 170 at 5, clear to land.
Clear to land 13 for 47 Charlie. Alright, there, and so we're gonna fly a pattern. So what that is we're going to parallel this runway, and that's called the downwind leg. Give a little bit of juice here. Drop our gear down, we're midfield. Gear is in transition right now, and I'm looking for 3 greens down here. Alright, 3 greens, gear is down and locked. And we'll throw in 1 notch of flaps. Throttle down. Alright, there's 2100. So landing light comes on because we're clear to land. We're lit up across the board. Mixture is full rich, prop is full forward. Gas is set as we want. We're going to extend out a little bit. We're still a little high, so I'll just extend down a little bit. I see those towers and those power lines. We'll keep those in sight. And then we'll just do a little bit of a descent here. 1,600 feet is the pattern altitude. We'll use 1,700. So our gear's down, we got 1 notch of flaps for 1,008. 80 knots, we can come up to 90 knots. Alright, we'll turn our base leg here. And we'll keep our descent going. Throw our 2nd notch of flaps in. Alright, a lot of trim going on here as we just get ready for the winds. There's 1,500 feet above sea level, so it's 900 feet above the ground. And now we're going to turn final. A little high, but nice big long runway here, so I don't mind being high. We have the whole thing to ourselves while we're clear to land.
500.
And we can use it. So there's our turn to final. Alright, we're 85 knots, that feels good.
Short final,
gas,
runway 13.
full tank, mixture's full ridge, prop is full forward. Okay, we got some wind here. Sync great, sync great. Just kidding, I just like saying it. Alright, so that's a lot of wind correction. We might go around, I reserve that right. The runway's made, we're going to chop out our power. Alright, and I'm going to kick it over. Man, not my best. We really Navy 2-wire stuck that one.
Didn't even feel it.
Oh, I felt it. Wait till I land at hooks, man. I'm just gonna grease it in. You really start to like.
Aero 47 Charlie, turn right your discretion, taxi to parking via Alpha, and monitor ground to parking on 1945. Good day.
Alright, Bravo, Alpha, taxi to park, and over to ground 47 Charlie, thank you. Alright, ground 1945. I missed that on. Usually I got that all set up here. 1945. 1945. Austin negative ground, Aero, November 6347 Charlie off, Bravo over to Alpha, taxi to the Jet Center.
Aero 6347 Charlie, taxi to parking via Alpha, good day.
Taxi via Alpha 47 Charlie. Alright man, you can crack that door open so we try to survive. Man, so that was a bad landing.
No, not at all. Honestly, I didn't even feel it.
Well, that was a stiff crosswind. I was actually going in my mind about going around and setting up for it again. I was very ready to do that. Wow, this is a pretty jet center, man.
Wow.
So that means he wants me to go over here and then face him. So he stands where he wants the nose to be.
Yep.
So then I gotta come this way and we'll just start this.